doing a 19K vid here today, and Ramble. I'm going to be rambling about kind of my favorite vids I've done. Just like kind of a lot of channel-related ramble to this one, but I'm filming this the day before we leave for New York. It's going up maybe Monday the 18th. But at the moment I'm at 19, I believe 37. So I don't know what it will be at by the time it goes up, but 19K once again. Thank you to all of you, new subs, existing subs, people who've been here for a long time. If you've commented, if you liked, if you just watched the video and enjoyed it, you didn't have to like a comment. People who've given super thanks, everything. Wishlist, PayPal. Followed me on Instagram. I actually have put up. I had taken my link to Instagram down, but then someone was asking about it. So I sent them the link, and then I just put the link back on my channel page. I'm going to most likely remove the wish list soon, I think. Especially if I go ahead with the P.O. Box. I'm going to talk about the P.O. Box more when I'm home from New York. Just put some kind of guidelines on it too. If I do end up doing it, I mean, I most likely will, but just put some kind of, not rules, I guess, but I'm gonna do it. If I do it, I'm gonna do it probably 6 months. Just do a 6-monther and then call it. 19's great. Like, and the next step is 20. 20 for me is a big number. So I hope I get there pretty soon, because I'm going to do another Q&A probably on that. Like, probably maybe around the time I hit 20, for months it is from now, I will probably do the questions portion. Like, send your questions in on that one, and then when I actually do the 20K, it'll be the 20K, and then it'll be the answering of the questions. I don't know if I'll be able to put it in 2 parts. I've gotten a lot of questions in my past Q&As, and I obviously have more subs now, so I will say on that too, I don't know if I've said this before. I don't think I have, but I am, when it comes to my channel, I might be a little too candid and open about my life and things and whatever, which is, listen, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but you don't want to keep throwing out stuff out there. So there might be some questions I get where I'm not answering them fully or possibly at all, depending on, if I don't want to, if I want to try to keep things a little more private now that we're in a new place and stuff, and just, it's almost like a fresh start on that front. But who knows, I might still answer all of them. But yeah, it's like I said, 20 is a really big number. That'll be a number, when I do get there. I know I will. The question is, how long will it take? That's going to mean a lot, but, it's still awesome, as always. Like, I've talked about these. I've talked about. What was I going to say? Oh my god. I completely blanked there. That's bad. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Maybe it'll pop back in my head. But it's been a great ride, It's pretty crazy to think I started this channel in September of 2016. And, I'm going to be going, it's almost September 25. It's going to be, 16, 17, 17. I mean, if you're just counting 16 as the year, because I do it like 16, 17, kind of like, 17, 18 as the full year, because if I'd started on January 1st of 2016, I could have gone that way. Still 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 10 years here, which is pretty wild. And I know some of you have been here for And I hope the people, the newer subs, stick around for a good while. I mean, you know how the game goes in YouTube. You know, I know how it goes. I know. You're going to lose subs. You're going to gain them. There's going to be subs that have just lost interest in watching your channel, or they still have, an account, but they've moved on. You know, they just don't watch YouTube much anymore. I understand how YouTube works, so. But it is nice, you know, seeing people that have commented and seeing their usernames. Well, I know some people's usernames have changed, but yes, I recognize one from like 2017. I gotta look at that. But, you know, thanks to obviously everyone who has done anything for my channel. Even if it just comes down to watching the video and enjoying it, you don't have to comment or subscribe and all that stuff. And like, but yeah, and still sometimes it's still a little surreal. I've talked about this a bunch. I think I must have, but I get, you know, you get these comments from time to time that are really, you know, real kind words in there and stuff, and you know, my videos have helped when they're going through a tough time. They help when they're at work and stuff, and it's still surreal to even like think that. It does mean a lot to me that my vids are helpful, relaxing, maybe comforting, entertaining. Maybe you find them funny. Some I try to be a little funnier in like the shady stuff and things like that. Maybe you find them interesting. I don't know. It's a nice feeling for sure, you know, to have people, you know, have your videos mean something to people is sometimes still surreal to me, you know. Because it's just me being me, outside of role plays, obviously, where I'm pretending to be someone else. You know, I do my rambles or my collection videos or pickups or whatever it may be, just eating videos and stuff, and I'm rambling as well. That's just me being natural, you know, and I always wanted that vibe, even in my old channel. I'm not talking about my new Buried Under Cliches. The original one I started in 09, it was the same way. I still acted the same way. I might have been a little more awkward than in terms on camera, but it was just me talking about video games. I also did some goofy videos on that channel, but, you know, just talking about video games or talking about whatever I would rant and ramble about other things too, but it's just still me going back and forth with people, and it was fun. You know, I had a low sub count. I still do on that channel, but there was a lot of people I'd go back and forth with in that gaming community, and it was nice, you know. And this community is great too, obviously. The ASMR community is a great community. I love going back and forth with everybody, and just, you know, it's nice, you know, talking to people on Instagram as well, you know, and going back and forth with people and stuff on here. That's part of the thing is responding to the comments, you know, at least the ones that should be responded to. Like I said, I mean, like anybody who's making YouTube videos, you would know this if you're making them. You're gonna get your nasty comments, your weird comments, other stuff, just insults and just coming at you. And at first, it's like you're like, oh my god, you're taking it back, and then you kind of just like, okay, you know. A lot of those, the really bad ones end up usually in the helpful review section. And I'll check that from time to time, not all the time. And you go in there and you're like, oh my goodness, this person really hates me for some reason. But hey, what can you do, right? That goes with putting up. You're putting yourself on the internet. It's not gonna be. It's not all gonna be good. Obviously, it never is. But I like you know, going back and forth with people. You know, I like responding. That's a huge part of it, is responding to comments. Like if I comment, now of course if you have a ton of subs, say you even have like 50,000 subs, and you're getting 200 comments on a video, understandably it's going to be hard to get to all of those, especially if you're putting up vids consistently. And some comments, you know, that's why YouTube put the heart in there, right? You can acknowledge the comment without responding to it. I mean, it's the same thing with the like, thumbs up, but when you get the heart, you know it's coming from the content creator, right? But I do like to respond to them. And this thing, you know what? This has been a thing on YouTube for a while. Everybody's been talking about this. actually had one. It was a vote on one of the, I think it was the Wii U. All they did was vote for a game. They just put the name of the game, and this comment was hidden. But a lot of times I click, if I'm on the laptop, I'll hit, ones I haven't responded to, and all of a sudden I'm seeing ones that I hadn't seen on my phone, or even just if I haven't hit not responded, and I'm seeing the new comments. I'm not seeing these ones. And if you go to a video, you gotta hit newest first. Any creators out there too. Or if you're commenting, just go. If there's a comment of mine that I haven't responded to, if you comment and I haven't responded, and it's not something that's just, sometimes I will respond to insulting comments, but if you go to that page, if you're like, oh wow, he didn't respond, if you go to that thing and you hit, and you don't see your comment, and then you hit newest first, it appears that YouTube just hides random comments. Like, this person just put the game they were voting for, like so many other people, but for some reason it disappeared. Now, I know some people's usernames, I would assume, I don't know how YouTube will hide. I've noticed some people on my channel, their username, I think, is the reason the comments are being hidden, because I'll see them. I'll still respond to them, but it will still be hidden. But you'll know I responded. Unless you hit newest first, and then it appears. So it's hidden, but it's not. Because if you hit newest first, you're still going to see it. But if you don't, it's just, you won't see it there. It's freaking strange. And they do it on some comments. You're like, okay, that makes a little sense. Sometimes, I guess if they feel it's spam, or you mention something, or you say ESPN or something like that. Certain things, because I remember commenting on a video, and I saw it wasn't there. I commented it, and then it just didn't appear. And I had to reword the comment because I think I said Netflix or something. It's weird what they decide is going to go hit. It's fucking strange. And then you'll have some insulting ones come through, no problem. But someone voting for a game doesn't come through. But someone calling me this piece of shit, or whatever they want to call me, makes it through. Most of the time it doesn't, but some do. Implied violence will make it come through. It's weird. It's you gotta laugh. So I'll say right now, if you've left a normal comment, or even a joking one, that hasn't come through, I probably have never seen it because it was hidden. Now, I don't always catch all of them. That's the thing. If it's a comment on an older video, I might not catch it. And sometimes I turned off notifications because I was just tired of seeing notifications come up. All just either responses, comments, someone's put up a new video, all that stuff. Because there's just too many. I disable a lot of my stuff. eBay on my phone, I disabled that shit as well. I'll go look, But, because sometimes I won't respond to second. If I respond to a comment and then the person responds, I sometimes will not respond to that one because I'm not getting notification. I will go back to other videos, more recent ones, and look. Sometimes I'll leave a heart 6 months later. But, it's annoying that they do that, YouTube. It's weird. YouTube's strange, right? With what they'll allow through and what they won't. For the most part, it's fine, but it is. Sometimes you're like, what? But it's been a pretty good run, and I've been on a good run lately. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful for it, and I am happy with the sub count I have, and I feel like I've been lucky as well. Especially during that run I had in 22. I talk about this run because it was so nuts. Where I generated 3,000 subs in I think it was 4 months. Now that's not some people, if their video hits the algorithm and goes viral, and I don't even mean crazy viral, they have a video that does a couple 100,000 views, they might generate 15,000 subs in a 2-month span. I've never gotten the ultimate push, but 3K in 4 months was nuts. That helped me out big time. That shot me past 10,000 subs at the time. And I've been on a pretty good run ever since. YouTube's weird. If I'll get a little into the analytics here. Your view count and if you're monetized, you can control those by the amount of content you put up. If I happen to not put up 10 less videos in a month, well, I know my views are going to be less. And the money's going to be less. I understand that. The sub count doesn't matter. I could put up one video a month and get 300 subs. I can put 30 videos up a month and get 100 subs. Like I think it was it February this year, I did 185. Now, no matter what if you make videos, like when I was first starting, and even on my other Barrier and Cliches channel, I understand if I could pick up 10 subs a month on that channel, cool. Your expectations and your goals change as your channel grows. You know, I remember back in the day, I was like, if I can do a half a sub a day, and then a sub a day, and it goes up, right? I did it on 185. Now, for me personally, that's not good at this point. If I was at, you know, even if I was at like 8,000 subs, 10,000, I'd be like, okay, that's solid, it's decent enough. But like, I get to the point where I'm like, no, that's not good enough. How dare you, YouTube? And then the next month I bounce back, and then I bounce back and do 400 or whatever. The sub count is one you can't seemingly control. Because I can have a sick month where I get a ton of views. And I'll be like, oh, I did 185 subs. And then the next month I do 40,000 views less, but I've done 350 subs. Some of that depends on the content. You know, I look back and I see like it was like a McDonald's eating video, I believe. One of them generated a lot of subs. That video I put up surprisingly exploded. I was happy to see that. The eating the fluff chip witch and the drink review, that's done over probably close to 6,000 views now in less than 2 weeks. That was surprising, but that generated like 25, 30 subs. That's why you're seeing more eating videos as well, because they do well. Now, I need to kind of pull back on that because I shouldn't be eating this kind of shit that much just to get views. I can't be an idiot. The views are nice. My health is better. And my health is nicer, I should say. My health is more important than getting views on a video. So you're going to probably, when I get back, you might see less of those. Now, I can still do like eating lunch and eat something healthier, or find a place that has healthier options. But sometimes, you know, you see your view count go up. You see something's working. You want to ride that wave. And it's smart to do. When you see your numbers going up, you're like, okay, I got to keep going. I mean, I've been pumping out videos. You know, I've missed a few days here and there, but I feel like it's been a while since like when I back first started, I'd put up maybe like 10 a month or something. And gradually I started doing more. I remember when I was trying to hit 1,000, I started to really, really put a lot up. And it's gone since there, man. You know, I might start taking more breaks. I've said this in the past. Not crazy breaks, like, you know, maybe put up 8 less videos a month or 6 less videos a month. Because I also know from my old channel, I stopped making videos on the channel for like 3-4 months. You come back, everybody forgets you existed. Like, that's the YouTube game. Sometimes, and unless you have a big sub count, if you have you have to, I feel like I have like a 50,000 plus. Or maybe even more than that, because if you disappear for a long period of time, people have moved on. You'll still have your dedicated subs, like, okay, you're back, because you'll have people. I've seen it on other channels I've watched that I go back and watch old videos. You see people still commenting if they haven't been on in a year. Oh, where are you and stuff. You know, so you're still going to have your dedicated subs, but like I said, this is a channel ramble as well. Just rambling about YouTube stuff. You know, so you don't want to disappear for a long time. Unless it's a legitimate reason, obviously, but and sometimes, listen, life gets in the way, or things are more focused. I mean, but I was just gonna say something else. It's getting bad. But if you have a ton of subs, you can kind of, it wouldn't matter, I would think, because you're gonna have a lot more. You might have less views than you did, but you might still, if you have once you have a massive sub count, which, listen, I'm not getting there. I would never think, and I would never in my mind be like 100,000 subs. No, in my mind, I was always like, I feel like my channel over another maybe 5-6 years, I don't know how much longer I'll do it, could get to like 50. I think my peak is probably 50, 40 to 50, but you never know, it could be lower. I would never have thought 100. I wouldn't, and I've said this in the past, I don't want that many because the problem is you're going to have more people commenting. And I'm, like I said with other big channels, I'm not going to be able to keep up with the comments, especially if I'm putting out videos every day. It would be impossible. I'd be literally spending 3 days just responding to comments. I would try to respond to as many as possible. But here's the thing. If you've been commenting on my channel for years, right? Now, it's different if you explode quickly. And people do. You start a video, in 2 years, you have 150,000 subs. It's more like, okay, you weren't responding like crazy, and you got big quick, so it doesn't look as crazy. If all of a sudden, by chance, I go from 19,000 subs to 75 in a year, I go huge run, insane. All of a sudden, shit ton of comments coming in. All of a sudden, I'm not responding to people that I've responded to for 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 years. I couldn't do that, man. I wouldn't, like, I would be forcing myself to respond to everything. Because all of a sudden, I don't respond to somebody that has been, a person that's been commenting on my videos and supporting my channel for years, and I'm just going to leave them a heart. To me, that's just, I look at it in my mind. Everybody's going to have their own mindset when it comes to YouTube. I would look at that like, no, that's wrong. If anything, the newer people, I wouldn't be responding to as much, and I'd be focusing more on the people that have been with me for a long time. Or even a couple of years, whatever, 6 months, but they've been commenting consistently enough. Yeah. Because that's the thing, back and forth. I've commented on YouTube. Like, I'll comment on people's YouTube videos, leave them a couple comments, and say they don't even have a big sub count. And all of a sudden, you don't respond. Eventually, I'm going to stop leaving comments because there's no interaction. Maybe if you're getting responses from other people that are sub to the person, sure, but you're not getting any interaction, so why bother? I'll leave you a like, but I'll still watch your vids, but I'm not going to keep leaving comments. Because I'm all about the interaction. As coming from someone who makes the videos, I like interacting. 95% of the time, like I said, there's going to be some comments I'm not going to respond to because they're either weird, insulting me, and other shit where I'm just like, okay, this is not relevant to anything related to the video. You know, but like I commented on not on this channel, my other one. I commented on a smaller channel's vid. Left them a comment, and there was a couple other comments in there. There was like 4 comments total. 3 regular comments. One was kind of a, not insulting one, but like questioning them kind of. And they responded to that one, but not my comment, and 2 others from other people that were like, oh, this was, a normal comment. No, like, if you're not going to respond to any, so be it. But you're going to respond to like vaguely insulting ones or ones that are questioning you. Fine, but you're not going to respond to people leaving you legitimate comments. I don't know. Maybe that's just me and other people. Like, I don't respond to comments, but I don't know. Because of me, the big part of YouTube, and like I said, this goes back to back in 2009. I would go back and forth with other creators and other people, just constantly back and forth, and it was really cool. That was a big part of it. That's how you build a community, You're not building a community by not responding to anybody. Like I said, I'll respond to messages on Instagram as well, and I'll message people. I like chatting with people. I might not get, I'm pretty good with getting back to people, but quickly, but I'll admit, sometimes I'm on the phone a bit too much. Like, I'm on YouTube looking at the analytics constantly. I need to kind of pull back from that, but it's exciting when your video all of a sudden takes off. You're like, oh my god. I do want to say I'm going to, because I've been going to New York, so I'm just filming stuff that I'm getting up, so I'm not, it's been less varied. There's been a lot of eating videos, drink reviews, and stuff. Well, I do have this will be up after, but you would have seen there's a comic book page turning vid. There's a controller sounds with gum chewing, no talking, so a little more different things, because there was a lot of I wanted to get a role play up, but I didn't. That's how it'll always be. I remember I tried to structure myself at some point. I'm like, this isn't gonna work. Like, oh, I'll do this on this day, this on that. With me, it's gotta be like, oh, I'm getting some food. I'm gonna make a video. You know what? Well, it's a little different with the tournament things I've done, because then I could do those differently. The only thing that's really structured though is the NFL rambles, because I can do them every week. Gameplays are like, oh, I'm surprised I did so many of those NBA ones. Hopefully that pushes me to do more gameplays of other games. When I get back, I want to do some more as well. But for me, it's always just do it. Like, I get a couple of drinks, I'm going to do a drink for you. I would love to ramble every day, honestly. Be it movies, sports, games, just ramble about whatever. Life stuff, things that are happening, and whatever. I would, but sometimes the problem is I feel like I need to be varied sometimes, right? Because then if I don't do something for a little bit, it's like, oh, why haven't you done this? It's like, I should. But I think I keep it fairly varied enough. And sometimes you'll see chunks like now, and even other times when I'm here and we're not going anywhere, where it's just, it seems like it's a lot of eating vids or drink reviews or rambles. The funny thing is, I've talked about this in the past, like my traditional, like tapping video or controller sounds and page, a lot of my traditional, or what people would consider traditional ASMR stuff, doesn't view as well as other stuff, which I always kind of get a kick out of. But yeah, that's just rambling there about my channel and stuff. I wanted to kind of do it 19K vid and kind of ramble on channel things. Not really, I guess a little bit of a behind the scenes thing out of Linux and stuff like that. But once again, thanks to everybody. You guys are the reason I keep pumping out the content and getting new subs and stuff. It means a lot. Like I said, knowing my vids can help people relax and whatever it may be. Yeah, it means a lot. And it still sometimes feels weird. Like when I first made ASMR videos, I'm like, this is a little weird. And I still sometimes think that. But I'm doing my first role play. I'm like, this is interesting. But hey, as long as you guys like it, that's all that counts. But all that matters. But yeah, 19K. Thanks again to everybody. Pushing here to 20K. 20K is a big number for me, so hope I get there soon. But hey, I should get there.